Their secret plan isn't working. It's not working. Now, when I say secret plan and when I say they, I'm talking about an elite group of people, as movie as that sounds, an elite group of people that have gotten together, that have wanted to control millions of people on the planet, to keep them in a certain box, to keep them distracted from other things going on so they can keep control and keep the resources going in their favor. Things and their cards are literally falling down. And there's signs that they are not winning. There's many signs that we are actually taking our power back. That's what they call the Great Awakening. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 signs that their secret plan isn't working, and show you exactly what we need to do to make sure we continue to go down this path of us taking back our power. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'll be showing it to you those 3 signs that their secret plan, their really super secret plan, they don't want anyone else to know, just isn't working anymore, okay? And when we talk about this, you might say, yo, Aaron, who's they? And they have a secret plan? This sounds kind of conspiracy theory-ish. Here's the thing about conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory, conspire, simply means secret plan, like a secret plan that's being brought out. That's all conspire means. Now, what happened is back in the day, the CIA was like, here's what the CIA did. The CIA wanted to be considered really cool. So what the CIA did is, first off, the CIA's been infiltrating Hollywood for a very long time. So one thing they did is they said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get a movie called James Bond to come out, played by, now it's Daniel Craig, but back in the day with Sean Connery, even before that, I think there was someone else. But we're going to have them play that, and it's going to make us look super, super cool. People are going to really like what we do. They're going to think it's cool. Let's give the CIA a very positive connotation. And then what they did is this other aspect of it is they said, okay, we're going to make this word called conspiracy theory, and we're going to make it and give it such a negative connotation that nobody wants to look into anything a secret plan the government would do. So that's kind of what they did. We'll make James Bond and everything, will make us look really cool, and then we'll make conspiracy theories look really bad and really dumb if they even look into it. So we've been primed to not even want to look into this idea of a secret plan. We're talking about secret plan. But, okay, who is they? Okay, they is an elite group of people, very wealthy. They in their own minds, they think they're very powerful. Okay, the only power they really have, though, is that we just have to kind of let them do things. That's it. Once we realize it, we then take our power back. That's what's happening right now on the planet. Part of the Great Awakening, what they call the Great Awakening, is so many people on the planet are waking up. And through these little different things that they are instigating, they are emphasizing. One of the things these elite people, and first off, who are they? So some celebrities are a part of this. There are big time celebrities that are a part of this, but understand they're only a part of that because they have and they harness such a great attention. And because they have so much attention, they're in a way pulled in and said, hey, come into this cool little room. We're going to show you some cool stuff. And they say, whoa, this is really cool. And then they see stuff, and they think it's cool. And then they see stuff, and then they're in too deep, and there's like no way out for them. Now, beyond that, though, there are different, I think a lot of them are people we actually haven't even seen before that are kind of behind the scenes. I learned about a lot of this when somebody I personally knew for a majority of my life was a part of some type of, not even government, but some type of thing where one of the underground bases in a way. And this person has seen and been around things that have been kept from the public that we would have no idea exist. And these underground facilities harness many different things. And that made me aware that there's other things going on than what were necessarily shown. And when I started learning about a lot of this stuff, especially like the spiritual awakening stuff, I started to wonder, why don't they teach this in school? Why is this something I just stumbled across? And then I realized that actually this in a way is kept from, I think, us knowing it to keep us where we are. Now, in the dark and not knowing this. Now, okay, first off, what is the first sign? Their secret plan. And what is their secret plan? Their secret plan is to retain and have control, to have what is called a new world order. Their secret plan would include also vaccinations. See, the way their secret plan works is it works in the form of what is called problem reaction, solution. So the problem is, oh my goodness, we have this thing that's making everybody sick. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? And here's the thing, that really is a thing. Like, I'm not saying that like the media, the 6 major corporations that own the media and all of that, they exaggerate things, they make the narrative look a certain way. That's why they would do things like take footage from Italy and say that it's from the United States. That's why they would do things like say all the hospitals are full, then somebody breaks into a hospital that's completely empty in New York, and then he ends up going to jail, but there's this footage. There's a reason that things just don't add up. Now, it's not to say that doesn't exist or it's not something that was harmful. It's just to say that it is used in a certain way as a problem, then there's a reaction. And if you can harness the reaction with the media, you can get people into a certain state so that then the solution is, well, guess what, guys? We have this really great solution. It's gonna you're gonna shoot it in your body and it's gonna make you feel safe and you could shame other people if they don't do it. And that's the idea. It's like, what could we do to get people open to this idea? And that's kind of how it works. Now, here's another thing. It's like, well, if we want martial law and curfew, I mean, what could we do? Could we instigate a lot of what's happened in the world? We look at what is happening with George Floyd and on the riots and the protests. And first off, just like the other thing, racism does exist. There have been people, specifically Black and African American people and people of color, that have been treated horribly for such a long period of time. It is time that that stops and we become aware of it. Now, the other aspect of this, though, is people saying that there are bricks that are being planted in different parts of the city that are then being conveniently able to thrown. There are undercover officers that are literally being shown vandalize their own police cars and then write BLM on top of the police cars. There are people that are undercover that are doing different things. It's very interesting to see. Now, the reason I say this is, why would that be? Well, the thing is once again, problem, reaction. Let's harness the reaction. And there's literally people being paid to go and instigate and to make things worse. Now, yes, it is an issue that still exists, the racism and us becoming aware of it, but it's being instigated in certain ways so that then there's a solution, and the solution is curfew and martial law. But there's signs that this isn't working. Now, one of the first signs is there have been so many posts on social media of actually very good feeling things. For example, cops and African American people hugging. There's one where there are African American gentlemen that were protecting one of the cops that got separated from his group. There have been many feel-good signs that we're actually connecting more and more, that we're realizing that we're actually also healing ancestral wounds, deep ancestral wounds for people that have been treated horribly for such a long period of time. So a lot of what is actually happening is this is actually bringing us closer together. This is coming up for us to purge, for us to become aware, for us to then let go of. So this is part of it. Now that's why it's like, if they need it, here's the thing. The second part is the sign that's not working is they're desperate to stage and instigate it. So when it comes to abusing cop cars, undercover people that are going around doing those different things that are, and you could see too by the way they are being questioned. There's a lot of people on cameras like, why are you doing this? To people that are white that are doing it, and the way they act is like they don't really believe in the cause of BLM. They're doing it because they were told to. There's many different signs of this. And there's different videos too of these cop cars literally abusing their own cars and then writing BLM on it. It's very interesting. And there's also been, I don't know if this is true, but there's been actually people that have come forward that are like retired cops and stuff that have said they were told they were going to give $500 to go and instigate and make things worse. I don't know if that's true 100%, but I have heard, I've had DMs on it on Instagram, people saying that they know people that have said that. It's very interesting. Now, why would they have to do this? Because the level, if the people have to go into instigate to make things worse, it's because people aren't doing it naturally. Of course, there's some people doing it, but it's being also blamed on African Americans. You see, like when these undercover cops and it's not all cops. Let me say this as well. It's not all cops. I'm not making a generalization here. But when people, not even just cops, when people are going in undercover to do these kind of things, when bricks are being planted in different parts of the city, and things are being instigated is because those things are not naturally happen, that they feel like if they can instigate it and provoke people, then they have more of a show. They have more reason to say, okay, we need martial law and chaos. That's another sign. But first off, this is bringing us closer together. This is bringing us closer together and making us realize that we don't want racism anymore. We don't want it. It is time that it gets brought to the surface and we actually let it go. The other aspect of this is that healing the energetically. There's still energy to be healed. And that's why one of the processes that I prefer, or that I think is very powerful, is doing something like Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And start to see the world as already whole and complete. To start to see equality in the world. This is one way we can begin to heal as a collective. This is coming up within the collective consciousness. And then some of it's being exaggerated, or not exaggerated, instigated, provoked. And what we need to do is become aware of it. When we talk about Soros and Antifa and some of these organizations, different intentions there. And we can become aware of it and then begin to let it go and decide we don't want it. Now, the third sign that their secret plan is not working is I believe that if it was working, there'd be way more things that would have already been brought out. For example, like the mandatory, it's funny, like a week, I mean, it's not funny, but like 3 weeks ago, we're all wearing masks and we're even wanting to go out like within 10 feet of anybody. But now the way the events have been kind of shown, people have been and now are in huge groups of people. So it's interesting how quickly the narrative shifts. But I believe that if Bill Gates and some of these other people had their way, there would already be vaccinations brought in. I think that the thing that happened at the beginning of the year would have affected way more people than it actually did. You know, a lot of it had to do with, you know, whether the numbers, it looks like the numbers were off from what a lot of, with what a lot of people were saying, especially doctors that were told, hey, if they have and were of this age and they were around anybody else that was younger, automatically claim them as having this thing. So the numbers, in a way, could have been way off, but I think they wanted it to affect way more people. So it's almost like as people believe in it and are in more fear, fear weakens the immune system and then increases the numbers. I think they wanted it, when I say they're in a way instigating, have the media to put a certain narrative that then increases probability of more people having it because more people are in fear, their immune system shut down. And when it talks to NWO, vaccines, even Marshall, I think their intention is for this to already be rolled out, but it obviously is not. So what I believe is that this is their last desperate attempts at a power grab. Their last desperate attempts to control. And every time like something happens, there's an initial reaction, but then people start to wake up. And so many people are waking up that there's other things going on behind the scenes that we're not necessarily aware of. And if you haven't seen that video yet that I've made, there's 3 hidden agendas, I believe, that are going on right now. You can click the top of the description box below. Check it out. Other than that, subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be covering more on this kind of stuff and going deeper. Smash the like button if you like this video. Let me know you want me to make more like this. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.